So in one of my recent videos, I shared, Hi, my name's Sue, and this is Sue Marie P. In a recent video, I shared what is teff. Teff is a flour or a grain grown in Ethiopia, and it's turned into a dark flour like this. And I promised to share a video on how to make teff pancakes. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. I'm not going to use eggs. I'm going to swap it out for a flax egg, but feel free to add an egg if that's what you prefer. Because the texture of teff flour is really fine and sandy, to give it a bit of structure, I'm going to add another flour with it. So I'm going to add, so in here I've got 1 cup, it's about 150 grams of the flour, teff flour, and I've got tapioca in here, which is a starchy flour, or you can swap it out for cornflour, arrowroot flour, just something to give it a bit of structure. And it also just lightens the flavour a little bit. Now I'm going to add just 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, and I need to add some other things just to give it a bit of flavour. So I need to grab them out of my cupboard because I forgot. So the first thing I'm going to add is some cinnamon, and I'm going to do 1 teaspoon because that balances the nuttiness of the teff flour. And for fluffiness, we add, well, this is my way of doing it. I like to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I find if I add too much baking powder, it gets a little bit of an aftertaste. If you don't have baking soda in the house or bicarb soda, just put 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So I'm going to whisk those together. That just incorporates the flour and the spices and everything together. Now, as I said, I'm not going to do an egg. So what I've got here is I've prepared some ground flax seeds, 1 tablespoon with 3 tablespoons of water. And I prepared that before we started filming, so it's been sitting there. And now it's like this kind of thick jelly-like substance. And I use that instead of an egg. I'm not vegan, but I do like experimenting and doing some recipes for my viewers without eggs. Into that I'm doing another flavour, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. That's just vanilla extract. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You can use coconut oil, any neutral oil you've got. And where's my tablespoon in here? And another flavour that goes really well with the teff flour is maple syrup. So 1 tablespoon of that. That's optional. You can leave that out if you don't want that. You can add another kind of sweetener if you prefer. And I've got 1 cup of soya milk. And you can use your preferred type of milk. While I'm talking, I'm just going to turn on my induction hob. And I just put it on like a medium temperature. I've got a little non-stick pan here, and I'll zoom in when I start cooking. I need to mix this through. And this makes kind of about 8 medium-sized pancakes that are quite fluffy. If you're the kind of person that likes thinner pancakes, more like Swedish style, just add a little bit more milk. Just make sure you get most of the lumps out. Because I stopped and started turning this on, I've got a few lumps, but they should sort themselves out. And what I'm going to do, I've got my Pyrex jug there. I'm just going to transfer the mixture into that. I just find it easier to pour the pancakes from that jug. Or you can use 1/4 scoop to get the same size, which I might do both. We'll just give my pan about 5 minutes to heat up. I'll do a quick clean up and then we'll come back and cook. I've done my clean up, ready to cook my pancakes. So my pan is nice and hot, you can feel the heat. I've got a plate here, it's my gorgeous new little cabbage leaf plate, and a little bowl to keep them warm. So I'm just going to pour in the mixture into my 1/4 cup here. Now mine's quite thick, so if you want thinner pancakes, just thin it out with some more milk. So this creates a nice medium size. We wait till bubbles start appearing and then I flip it over. So you want to make sure that this batter here doesn't spill everywhere when you try and flip it. So I've got some bubbles starting to appear. And we'll flip it over. Perfect. Look how fluffy that is. Cook it again for another few minutes. Doesn't take as long on this side. So I've finished cooking my stack of pancakes. Look at those. I've made about 8 medium pancakes. I'll cut one in half just to show you, how about I do that one, the middle of them. Look at that, the steam coming off them. They're soft and fluffy and they taste delicious with homemade jam or raspberries, a little bit of yogurt. So if you want to try something new that's gluten-free, try Teff flour and let me know in the comments below if you give it a go and what you think of it. And I'll see you next time with hopefully some more tested Teff recipes. See you later. Bye.